From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus recon of 2021. In this recording, we're going to go over that incredible recon that Leader Schumer represents will become a law in less than 1 week. But can he get it done? And is there a new move from the White House that is confusing across the board? I'll go over all this incredible breaking news. It's brand new. The COLA raises in this recon, the COLA raises coming across the board are coming in January. I'll explain the latest details on that. Plus this stimulus and also your student loan debt forgiveness. And then we're going to go back into that fourth stimulus recon. They'll pay a lot, upwards of $15,000 of checks. It's incredible. The passage of this recon is being predicted by Leader Schumer. But can he get it done? I'll go over the time frame and the new statements from the White House minutes ago. It's breaking today on Afternoons. Then the incredible checks that are available to pay you money today. It's Thursdays, and viewers are cleaning up for this holiday Christmas stimulus. The average viewer getting $5,000. I'm going to show you how to clean up with these big sums of money so you have money for holiday gifts and more. It's coming up in the second half of this video. We'll be looking over what the Federal Reserve announced yesterday in its new policies. Did I get it right? And what does this mean for you and your money? Then we'll be turning to that student loan debt forgiveness and the offer across the board. But it's a big afternoon as the White House has a few off-the-record comments about the recon. Very, very interesting. I'll analyze the situation. We have the Senate parliamentarian influx, and then we have the calendar with not calendar Colleen, a calendar Cod, a calendar LA, because I'm going to put Chuck Schumer to the task. Can he get this recon done in the next 7 days? If there was ever 14 days of this channel, you don't want to miss a video, a day, or an item. You want to stay here. It's this week. And this weekend, you're likely to get a lot more insight as well. It's going to be a jam-packed weekend as well. It's a jam-packed afternoon show. And there's a lot of breaking news that just happened minutes ago. I have all of it as we go into a big afternoon. And the excitement starts right here, right now, as Afternoons LALATE gets underway. And here we go. Here we go. The recon is going to pass by the end of next week, says Leader Schumer. Can he get it done? And what happened with the White House? And that's shocking off-the-record comments that came in the last few minutes. I'll explain what the White House said and your reaction and my reaction to their comments. The Senate changes will be robust, but so far this fourth stimulus recon has lots of checks in there, about $15,000. Everything in the House is still in there on the Senate side, and the checks would be coming in that fourth stimulus recon, lots of them, but no time to wait for those because guess what? You can get third stimulus checks today. This is money in your wallet, lots of it. And viewers continue to win, and today I'm going to show you how to get more of this money. This is your Christmas stimulus, your holiday stimulus, money right now. Average payout $5,000. We'll turn to that student loan debt forgiveness, and we'll be turning to that COLA raise and how it's confused some viewers. I'll explain it and break it down for you as well. Those details plus a recap of what happened with the Federal Reserve yesterday. Did I get it right with what the Federal Reserve was going to say? Its impact on your money and your wallet. All those details coming up in this big video. It's a big breaking afternoon's show, and I want you to subscribe. So go under this video and hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video and consider becoming a member of the #1 most watched financial news channel on this subject in America. This is LA. Sign for that membership so you can get that incredible newsletter tonight, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. And the great news as we go into this incredible evening and afternoon, depending on which time zone you are, is that the recon has lots of checks in there. They got in there. There's average of $15,000, many checks, multiple checks. You're going to clean up in there. And we're going to go over each of them starting right now with the first of 3 clusters and 3 add-ons. Hazard pay got in there. $4,000 for elder care got in there. $4,000 to care for young children got in there. The Pell Grant got it in there. And then also the money for the new electric vehicle and the CTC. Wow, that is incredible. That's the first of 3 clusters. Already about $5,000 right off the bat. The first add-on comes from the illustrious Maxine Waters here in Southern California. It is free money to go buy your first home. Millions of Americans love this on this channel, like Lynn Glenn. How do you get this money? How do you get this free money? I'm going to cover it late in this video. Stay to the final 5 minutes of this video so I go over all these incredible sums. How much did Maxine Waters want to give you on this? She wanted to give you $25,000. She got a little bit less. I'm going to go over that in just a second. Let's go to the second cluster of checks, home repairs and also paid leave. In the second cluster, they got in there the incredible pre-kindergarten and also the household tax credit. Now, when we're talking about home repairs, this time it's to weatherize your home. Weatherize your home? Is that so you're festive around the holidays? No, that's winterizing your home. At the McConnell residence, it's lobster decorations, lobster ornaments, lobster lights, and lobster teenies. Yuck. It's about as deliciousness as seeing Joe Manchin tell you which way to the coal mine. Let's go to the... I don't know where I get this stuff. Let's go to the second add-on that has nothing to do with coal. Yeah. Children, you want to go to the coal mine for a tour? Yeah, let's see the money that gets Joe Manchin, all those donations. $250 billion is supposed to be in this provision. They got a little bit less, but boys, it's deliciousness. It's from Joe. It's not from Joe. It's from Bob Casey for free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. Let's go to that third cluster of checks, and that's where the deliciousness kicks in, other than coal and michitinis or lobster teenies. They got in there money for seniors and free internet. Okay, in this third cluster, we have free school meals for all checks. We have in there the cheaper prescription medication, immigration reform. We also have in there the farmers. And then we also have the money for the seniors. The money for the seniors is in 2 parts. First, the House got in there the Medicaid gap fix and the hearing. The senators vowed to add 3 other provisions for my seniors, which are dental, vision, and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. That's par for the course of what we're looking at with the Senate versus House, because the senators also represent they're giving you an MSC. MSC stands for multiple IRS stimulus check, 1 or more. Now, why do we use that acronym on this channel? Because there are multiple checks in this recon, but they are not sent by IRS. There are multiple checks in this recon already. This differentiated as a one that's sent out by IRS. Back in the month of May, 6 senators told thousands of viewers of this channel it's going in there. And 2 weeks ago, the legislation landed in their ballpark. And I said to pick up the phone and re-advocate. And boy, did you do a well job. Janet picked up the phone and spoke to Chuck Schumer's office and was told it's going in there via Bernie Sanders. Lynn Glenn picked up the phone and spoke to Bob Casey's office and was told it's going in there. Then we had the incredible Donnie and his wife spoke to Ron Wyden's office, told it was going in there. Viewers continue to advocate across the board. Tyrell speaking to Chris Coons' office and being told it's going in there, and Bonnie speaking to Liz Warren's office and being told it's going in there. When we talk about an MSC, what are we talking about? They say a third stimulus check would be the same eligibility as fourth. So if you got a third, you would get a fourth. Single individual, $75,000 less, got it. Married couple, $150,000 less, got it. Double it. Family of 4, got it. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, you got it as well. Fourth stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. And it does not come out in waves. It's not a waivable check. So if you're at the beach and you see someone in a white bikini, do not wave at them. They're not the check. Because it's not waivable either. And it's the same check for everyone. Adult dependents, minor dependents across the board. SSI and SSDI would get it as well. So why is it important to advocate? Because we're at the edge of the finish line, but we're not over the finish line. We're at the edge of the finish line. And the chief of staff to the #1 guy in that recon says, pick up the phone and advocate to us. They have received over 9 million phone calls so far. Keep on advocating. Back at the time, it was 3 million. And the chief of staff says that they have received and told me Congressional Senator's office received more contacts of advocacy for the LA Purple Power than the number of signatures in the American petition. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring of touching stories now they have better understanding what Americans are going through during this pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories in the voice of the people across the nation you ally, as you have become too loud to be ignored. Please continue your encouragement for continued advocacy as the professional voice of the people you have become until this becomes law. And so who should you advocate to? Let's go over those people right now. You want to advocate to Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Advocate for its inclusion. Do not use the word MSC. Use simple words across the board. Again, you want to advocate to Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Meantime, give yourself some time to advocate for your wallet, because guess what? Third stimulus is still around. And that advocacy for your wallet could pay you out what other viewers are getting. The average viewer of this channel in the last 2 weeks has gotten a $5,000 payday. And they've got to 4 to 6 months of rent and 2 utilities. In the second half of this video, I'm going to show you how to get these incredible holiday Christmas stimulus and how to get more of it if you've already gotten it. Stay to the final 5 minutes of this video. Student loan debt forgiveness, we're going to go over the latest details on the offer for that. Fifth stimulus, and it come in next year. The latest details on that, plus the COLA raise, plus the impact on your SNAP. I'll explain what's going on. But of course, we're going to turn back to that recon. And Chuck Schumer's representation, it's getting passed next week. Will it? I'll have all the analysis. Plus the breaking news of what the White House is doing today. Senate changes, yes, those details and more. Plus the programs in there, lots of checks, many checks. Get that pen and paper ready. We can go over all of them. It's all coming up in the second half of this video. As a big Afternoons LA continues, see you back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now as we go to the second half of this big LALATE broadcast. As Purple Hawks are going to pounce and clean up in this recon. It's going to get passed, says Leader Schumer, but can he get it done? The Senate change is robust. Lots of checks from my Purple Hawks, and you're going to clean up with a lot of money. Average $15,000, but maybe even more. Plus, my Purple Hawks have done really well over the last few days, getting on average $5,000 after they got $45,000 earlier this year. I'm going to show you, Purple Hawks, how to get more of that money. Plus, your student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that and that offer. Then we'll be turning to fifth stimulus and what you need to know about that. Getting a lot of great questions. I'll be answering those on air. And with that, I want you part of this incredible family. So go into this video right now and subscribe. I want you part of this incredible family so you learn about all this incredible money in this recon. Like the video and become a member of the #1 most watched financial news channel in America on the subject matter, geopolitical news, and #3 overall. That membership newsletter comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. And with that, let's go into what is happening on this big afternoon of a lot of breaking news starting right now. The details right today is a mixture of moving forces that you have to sometimes do a little bit of tea leaf reading. So let me go over what's happening. It was no less than about 5 weeks ago that Chuck Schumer issued that letter. And I read it on air. No, about 4 weeks ago. I read it on air. And he said the fourth stimulus recon will pass the week of Christmas. Now, since then, he's had 2 quotes. The first quote says the recon will become a law by Christmas, which means December 24th, Friday. Not this Friday, but the Friday after that. And then the second quote says the recon will pass the Senate by Christmas Eve, the 24th. Very, very different quotes. Why is it important to analyze the difference? Because there's an extra day or two, and it may be sort of tight. Let's go over the analysis. First, you have to have a Senate floor vote, a 2-day Senate vote-a-rama if he affords it to you. And then we're done for the Senate. 3 days, in a 5-day work week next week, they can get it done pretty easy. But if we want to make it law, it has to go back to the House, and voting in the House could take a half a day to a full day. That brings you to 4 days in a 5-day work week. Still can do it done very, very tight. Now, any concern across the board on that subject matter? No. Who determines when things go for a vote? Chuck Schumer. Anyone else? No. The White House doesn't determine it. Raphael Warnock doesn't determine it. So do I believe the fourth stimulus recon is becoming law in the month of December? The law, not just Senate. Yes, I believe it's becoming law in the month of December. Why? Because conservative and liberal analysts both believe it's becoming law in the month of December, number one. Number two, there is enough pragmatic, long-standing, very intellectual and smart Democratic senators who believe it is a time bomb to leave it to January. Why? Because all the critical provisions that they're going to rest their hat on for the midterm elections are in third stimulus, and extended under or continued under fourth stimulus would expire if they don't get it done in the next few days. So I don't think they want their best, marquee framed plexiglass trophy winning provisions expiring. I don't think it makes sense. And those are things like the CTC and the earnings tax credit expanded. So I do believe they're going to get it done, like a Tim Kaine. Now, what's the third part of the equation? Third part of the equation is that Mitch McConnell had that incredible agreement with Chuck Schumer we did not know before Halloween. We only learned about a few days ago, in which Mitch reached out to Chuck, says, I want to have no procedural battles with you. I just want to get things done quicker and easier. You can substantively do what you want to do, but I'm not going to be in procedural battles with you. And that is why the debt ceiling bill is done. That is why the defense spending bill is done. All that's left is the recon. Now, what is new today? What's new today is a continuation of what you heard percolating yesterday. And I said, don't worry about it. What did I say yesterday? I said Raphael Warnock, the junior senator from Georgia, who's been there all of 11 hours. This channel has been around longer than Raphael Warnock has been a senator. Said, first of all, he's going to give you $2,000 stimulus check if you elect him. He didn't give it to you. But he said this week that he wants the recon to become law, and he does, because he was behind some of the great provisions recon gave them done. But he thinks that the voting rights initiative should go for a vote in December, and they should vote on the recon in January. Now, that was the head gesture I did yesterday. I'm like, yeah, what are you talking about, Willis? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, next, no soup for you. No soup for you at all. That's the soup Nazi would say. And I said yesterday, I don't care what Raphael Warnock says because he's a junior state senator. He's been there 2 minutes. He doesn't determine when things go for a vote. So it was not much of anything. I passed it off yesterday. But I still wanted to tell you so you know anything that's rumbling out there. Well, the rumbling is rumbling louder today. And this is a little bit, not nerve-wracking, but a little bit like, excuse me? Who is talking about this now? Not Chuck. Not Nancy. Yeah, the other guy, the president. Yeah. So the president is now talking about giving himself another big win, which it looks like his priorities is giving himself wins and not us wins. Giving himself a big win, and then doing the voting rights initiative maybe in December and doing the recon in January. I don't understand. Now, let's make very clear. Number one, it's off the record, sourced quote. He didn't verbally say it. We don't have him, behind in the White House with Jill Biden's declarations. We don't have him saying that. This is an off the record quote, so maybe someone's misquoting him. But it also doesn't make sense because why would he want his own programs to expire that he fought to get them in third stimulus? Why would he want them to expire? I need to say, I got to tell you, what are we doing here? We're biting our nails because come this Monday, we're going to say, okay, Chuck, you have to call the vote. Yesterday, I started the hashtag campaign. Chuck, call the vote. Chuck, call the vote. We're starting to see a lot of people sort of nerve-wracking about calling the vote. Now, it was 3 weeks ago I had all those quotes on set. I still have them here from Macy Hirono and Dick Durbin, both senators, saying, you have to just call the vote, Chuck. You can't keep on guessing whether Joe Manchin is going to vote against provisions. Just call the vote. Bernie Sanders said the same quote as well, by the way. Just call the vote so we know where we stand. And I think it's starting to become a little bit of cold feet looking, that Democrats are sort of worried about it failing. I love one viewer. One viewer heard exactly what I said and repeated back in one of the live chats earlier today. Said, call the vote. Maybe it'll win. Maybe it'll pass. If it doesn't pass, well, then you just do it again in January, which is what you were going to do anyway. Don't roll it over to January. Just call the vote and maybe it works. And the reason why you call the vote is because people negotiate when you're calling the vote. So if you really, really don't like it, get the hand up, say, I vote against it. Okay, well, what if I give you this? Okay, I'll take the hand down, I'll vote in favor. And that is why the hashtag campaign has to go out there. Hashtag vote against it. I have more about this analysis, as if that was not enough commentary right there, late in this video, providing I still have some running time on this video because I have a feeling it's going to go long. Let's go over those incredible provisions of this recon. Get your pen and paper ready right now. And we're going to go over each of them. If this is where you're going to pounce as a Purple Hawk, there's at least $15,000 of checks in this recon. We're going to go over each of them starting right now. They got in there the big paid leave, which is a lot, $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 more per year. If you make $35,000 more per year, $1,400 a week. If you make $800 a week, if you make $15,000 more per year, then that's $400 a week. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks per year. Yeah, it's incredible. Now, the eligibility is for everyone, all types of workers, all income levels. But if you don't work, but you live with your son or daughter, and they take off from work once a week to take you to the doctor, they're going to get the check for the household. Incredible. They got in there the SALT cap, which will raise the amount you deduct on state and local taxes from $10,000 to $72,500. It's huge. Then they got $40 billion of free job training in there. Great. We got a great provision in there. Many viewers ask me about this daily. Where's the cheaper medical insurance? Here it is. 12 Republican states vowed to never provide cheaper medical insurance, namely Obamacare. So the Democrats got a workaround plan. They'll provide years of subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in those states. Which then brings us to the best provisions of recon, and you know what it is, the housing. The housing is $150 billion with 6 programs. 3 are new. They are Weatherize Your Home, first-time home purchases, and the home repairs. But 3 look very familiar. Why? Because they're continuation from third stimulus. And they are rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. And the great news, you don't have to wait for fourth stimulus to become a law. You can get it right today. And that is available right today. And viewers have cleaned up, getting over an average of $45,000 on it earlier this year and the last 2 weeks, an additional $5,000. Let's step back to a year ago this week. A year ago this week, we were waiting for second stimulus to become law. It wasn't. Steve Mnuchin and Nancy were negotiating, wasn't getting it done. And you had used up first stimulus. And I said, you need money for the holidays, and let me show you how to get money. And it was rent, utilities. And at the time, there wasn't a lot of it around. Let's be very frank. It was hard to get it. And I showed you how to get it from the government and also from the nonprofits. Like Tyrone and his family of 4 got $15,000 out of Boston, paying all the rent to the new year. What did I teach you then? I teach you 2 things. One, that when you have a wad of cash in your wallet to pay for the rent, that's the rent cash. You're about to give it to the landlord that month. Let's say it's $1,000 you're about to give the landlord that month. Well, what happens if you don't have to give the money to the landlord because someone else paid the landlord for you? Then the cash stays in your wallet. And that cash in your wallet can be reallocated to something else, like holiday gifts. This is how we create financial independence on this channel. And you did it. And you cleaned up. Viewers on average got $250,000. This is one thing I know better than anything else is getting people money, getting them $25 million of EID loans to save their businesses and homes early this year, early in 2020, and then saving their livelihood and saving their holidays in 2020 with $250,000. But I also showed you something else. At the time, I had a draft of a pending legislation for this year, 2021, coming up in the future. And I said, I'm going to call third stimulus. There's a lot of money in there. There's a $14 stimulus check. But I think there's about $15,000 I can get you in there. I said, stay with me. And when it became law, I said, I can get you about $15,000. And I did. In fact, the average view of this channel got $45,000. More importantly, the way they got the money was from the same programs they had gotten from December 2020. They had listened to the videos, and I said, you're going to deliver the same skill set you've already learned from this channel when third stimulus becomes law, and they pounce as a Purple Hawk. Hawk, hawk. Now, you and I talked turkey on this channel, and I told you back several weeks ago that there was no way for stimulus money was going to land in your wallet before Christmas. There was no time left. So I said, you need money for your bills and your holiday season. And I said, let me get you some money right now from third stimulus. And you have done so well. The average viewer of this channel has gotten $5,000, 4 to 6 months of rent, and 2 utilities. 2 situations happened. One, the viewers thought there was no more money from third stimulus, so they thought they could never get it, and they may have never gotten it. And 2, people who had gotten it before thought they couldn't get it again. You can. Let's go over all the incredible stories right now, and we're going to look at viewers who listened and learned apply the information of this channel are having a beautiful holiday season because now they have thousands of dollars cleared up, not having to pay this month's rent, next month's rent, and potentially a lot more months thereafter. Here's Amy. Thank you so much for your unprecedented dedication to helping your viewers learn financial help during this uncertain times. Your demeanor is always pleasant, positive, and witty, and a pillar of hope for the American people. My husband and I were able to get a third round of utilities this week. There you go. She got 2 rounds before. And a second round of rent. And then she also got food stamps. May not be big figures for other people, but it's very grateful for us in rural Kentucky. She's in an area of rural Kentucky, and you know that state, of course, was ravaged by the tornadoes. This is a message before the tornadoes. I love her message for 2 reasons. One, it shows you she got multiple rounds. She kept on getting another round. And also it shows you that you can get this money in these rural areas and do not discount yourself and think that you don't qualify. We have viewers across the board who continue to get those sums of money. Here is Sandra, who got money. Here is Judy, who says, "You're Jesus in disguise." I appreciate that. She got $3,000 last year. She got another $3,000 just this last week for her December, January, February rent, which now gives her the, as she says, we're happy and able to get Christmas gifts, and I'm able to get them to my loved ones. I've been watching you since day 1 of March 2020. I told all my friends, and we all watch you. She says, "You're the best, and we're getting more money." You better. Great job. Happy holidays. Sandra got money. Tonya got money. Amy got money. And the continuous stories that come on in is 4 to 6 months of rent, about $5,000. But we do have some $6,000. We do have some more. Here is Chef John Meyer, who got money. Deborah got $4,000. Lynn Glenn, you know her. She got 1 round of rent. She got some more money for another utility just a few days ago. And the great comments keep on coming in. Robin says you're an angel disguise. She got 3 utilities and then 3 other utilities. And there's Dee Miller, who got 4 months of rent. Here's Madonna, who got 3 rounds. Just incredible. And then Kathy says, "You are godsend." I appreciate that, Kathy. She got about 6,000. Morel, who got an incredible 3 rounds. And then we have May Lou, who got about 6,000. At the time, you're going to meet her in the final 5 minutes of this video, because why? She went back and get more money. Melissa Justice got 10,000. And then I love Chris's story, because why? Chris got 10,000 earlier this year, but he heard my recording and said, "I would have never known there was additional sums of money to get." And he listened, and he got another $5,000 just days ago. So let's go over the big money you can get right now. And it's available, and I want you to get it. This is your Christmas stimulus, your third stimulus, and we're going to start with the rent. The rent has gone up a lot. This was the rent no less than 3 months ago. Wow. It was $20,000, $30,000, and now it is upwards of $40,000. And we had one viewer who got $40,000 this last week. One viewer who got $138,000 for his entire family. It's incredible. And let's go over how you get it from 6 places: City Hall, City House Authority; County Hall, County House Authority; State Hall, and State House Authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent or mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. There are 3 you must do. You must reach out to all 3 places. Number 1, you must get applications on file everywhere. Number 2, and you must also ensure that you get multiple rounds. So if you got 1 round earlier this year, get another round today. You got 1 round yesterday, get another round today. Here's your utilities. Get as many utilities across the board as you can. Mark had $6,500, but his brother-in-law got $15,000. You reach out to utility companies. Again, utility assistance because of COVID. Here's Snap. Yeah, Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year. Incredible. That is $250,000 over the next 10 years. Here's Nisi and Art Sullivan. They got 3 items, which inspired all these viewers to get 3. Here was Mark at 2 items. I said, "Mark, where's your third?" He got third. Problem to 50,000. Now he's over 100,000. You want to get as many different items as you can. Here's Lorraine. She's at 105, and now she's at 120, which truly shows us where you go with this information. And you want to listen and do it exactly as the videos cover. And it started with Johnny several weeks ago, part 1 of a 3-part story. Johnny had gotten 1 sum of money on a Monday, but he kept on pushing. And by Wednesday, he got 3 sums, $45,000. Great. But he heard in the recordings me saying, "Don't stop, keep on getting other sums." And he did. By the end of the week, he got 7 programs approved. 7 programs approved? Yes, it's incredible. How did he get 7 programs approved? By at least making 15 phone calls. That is incredible. To make 15 phone calls, then what would have happened? He had to have, 25% rejection rate to get those 7 approved. And there you go. 5 days, $80,000. Then part 2 is an incredible story followed the following Monday. His 2 family members said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I got $8,000 last week." They said, "From what?" He said, "From LA." LA, I hadn't heard about this. Why don't I hear about this in broadcast media? He said they don't cover it. He said, "Let me show you." By the end of the week, they became believers. They each got $50,000. And part 3 of Johnny's incredible story follows 2 weeks ago. He sent me a private message on Instagram saying, people kept coming over asking for help. I showed them the videos. They became members. They became subscribers. And I helped 32 of them. I said, 32, Johnny? How much money did you give 32 people? He said, $850,000. If you haven't become a member right today. Go right on this video right now. Become a member of this incredible channel where people clean up with big sums of money. Become a member to get that incredible newsletter. It comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. It features the 6 places to reach out to. It features the 3 nonprofits. It features the key words you want to say. It also features stuff not covered in this channel. It features the 5 covered in the videos. 5 nonprofits, what they pay for, their eligibility, the 1 nonprofit that does home repairs, the money from the statement from Treasury that you want to learn about before you make the phone call, and there you go. Consider becoming a member today. And with that, let's go right back into forced stimulus, which we left off at the big money in that housing provision. So that housing provision has 3 other provisions, and the first one is the home repairs across the board for low-income people. Then the weatherizer home for everyone, and then the first-time home purchases. This is money given to the seller in your name by the federal government during the time of escrow. They got $150 billion of home health care in there. They got in there the Pell Grant, $550 check. They got in there the $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Incredible. And then they got in there the nutrition, $65 a month when the kid is not in school. But one of the best provisions is the cheaper medication. Cheaper medication. It'll start on day 1 with 20 medications and grow dramatically to 30 medications by the year 2028. Cannot increase more than the rate of inflation. And in fact, thereafter, if they do, there's a penalty provision across the board. It's important to note that this is absolutely incredible. Now, the Senate parliamentarian is set to rule on that penalty provision in the next potential 24 hours. I thought it was going to be yesterday. So we'll see whether she comes in with that ruling tonight across the board. Meantime, what else is important for you to know about this recon tonight? Let me go over some of the details right across the board. First, one of the things I want you to know at issue is the following. Forced stimulus land in your wallet before Christmas? No. Forced stimulus landing in your wallet before New Year's Eve? Potentially. Forced stimulus becoming law by Christmas? I think it's really tight. Becoming law by the end of the year? Yes, I believe it's happening. The recon having all these incredible checks in there? Yes. So what is the only thing that makes me a little bit unedged? And it's the talk of having the Voting Rights Initiative done in December and moving this to January. Because suddenly Mitch has cleared everyone's schedule for Chuck. They have all the checks in there. Everything is done. And then suddenly we're talking about a brand new body of legislation that no one was really talking about on this channel. No less than 48 hours ago, at the 11th hour, came out of Raphael Warnock's left field. And now the White House is considering the situation, not saying it's doing it. And of course, it doesn't determine when things are voted on. I don't even like to even mention the existence of the Voting Rights Initiative being done in December. And it shows sort of a subtext to it. And here I'm going to a very deep opinion. It shows a subtext to it. Why would you even do the Voting Rights Initiative before the recon? The obvious painting on the wall is you would do the Voting Rights Initiative because you think the recon's going to fail. I think the Democrats need to stop worrying about things failing and just calling the vote. Whether it's Bernie or Mazie Hirono or Tim Kaine or Dick Durbin, they're all right. You just have to call the vote. And that's why hashtag Chuck Call the Vote is very important. Take this video and tag those elected officials and tell them you got to get the vote called across the board. Meantime, join me tonight on Evenings LA with a more extended broadcast of all these incredible details. It's a lot coming up, and you saw how jam-packed today's video was. Evenings LA is at 5 o'clock. It'll be totally brand new with more details of this across the board. Then we have Evenings Countdown as well. And with that, I want you part of this incredible family. Like the video and subscribe. See you tonight on Evenings LA as LA continues.